Welcome back, everyone. Dyno Joe here. We got the Shindiawa 491, which is the same as the Echo 490. Got an Echo 4910, Echo 501P. Get them on the dyno, get some baseline runs, tear them down, port them, get some after runs, see what kind of gains we can get out of these. £12, 1.2 ounce. There's the metric. 4910 pounds, 11.2 ounces. There's the metric. 501P, 11 pounds, 12.9 ounce. There's the metric. Alright, here's the Shindiawa 491S. This is the same as the Echo 490. Slightly different shape to the starter cover. This 4910 and 501. 501 has the metal handle, the wire retainer on the bar nuts. 4910, black side cover, no retainer, but it does have the clips for the wire if you want to switch them. And it looks like the Shindiawa does too. The 490, even the Shindiawa version, comes with the silver muffler. Looks identical to the other, just the color. 4910, 501, I've got the plate on the front. 490 uses the transfer caps. Slightly different cylinder. I'll show that once I have them all off. All three of these are going to get ported. All going to get dyno runs. So we'll see how that works out. Do the tear down on the 4910 and the 491. Show the differences in these two. 4910 501 is pretty much the same engine setup, so tear down will be the same. Alright, so far the 490 and the 4910 is looking pretty identical in the carb area. Alright, so the bores are the same, both carbs. Alright, pull these cylinders. Alright, let's see what we got. Alright, there's 4910 cylinder. Alright, here's a simple muffler mod if you got one of these here. 490s, 4910, or 501. Take the two screws. You can remove the deflector piece. And they have a tube inside the muffler. Pull that out. It's a nice open hole, nice empty can. You can open up this piece of the deflector. Let it flow a little bit better. That's a quick, easy one. Or Matt Robinson gearhead has a bolt-on piece, but on this one I'm just going to weld on deflector, weld on one on that side, so all three of these will get the same muffler mod. Alright, 4910 on the right, 490 on the left. You can see it's a rounder intake port. Not quite as wide, but it comes down to a point. A lot more duration than the 4910. So we'll check that out. 4910, a narrow squish band, nice dome chamber. Can't really tell, but it's more of a pyramid cone shape. A slight D chamber on the 490. 490 has removable transfer caps. Still bottom fed. There's that intake. Exhaust appears fairly wide, but it's rather short. You can see the 4910 exhaust. Nice shape to it, a little more duration. Don't think it's quite as wide. So we'll get the squish measurements, get them timed up, and go from there. I'll probably just cut and set the squish on these. That works real well on the 4910s and 501s. So we'll do that. All right, we'll take 25 off. All right, now we gotta go up and cut the extension. Gotta make sure to take enough off for what you took out the base and the gasket. So it'll take about 40. All right, there we go. 25 thousandths off the base. These don't need the band cut. Squish was huge to begin with. Get this cleaned up, double check the squish clearance. Then I can lay out and port it. There's 4910 cylinder, the 490 cylinder. 490, I took 13 thousandths off the base. 4910, 25 thousandths. Squish on both of these is right at 23, 24 thousandths. Full circle piston. Does have thicker rings, double rings. Both the pins are on the intake side. On the 490. 4910 has windows. One locating pin's on the intake side, the other's on the exhaust side over here. I'll probably drop the bottom ring on all three of these saws. 4910, 501 has the same piston cylinder setup. So we'll see if this full circle piston allows for anything any different. These are all going to run real similar numbers, but I'll get the wheel put on them, see what kind of timing numbers they do have. This is after the machine work. Alright, so we got the cylinders all timed. 491, 84 intake, 119 exhaust, 130 transfers. 4910, 78 intake, 110 exhaust, 128, 134 on the transfers. 128 is the exhaust side, 134 is the intake side. They're staggered a little bit. Those are the numbers after machine work on these. The 501 has the same numbers. The 490 needs to come up a long ways. Not too much on the transfers. But that exhaust needs to come up a mile. Mile and a half. There it is. 4910, 501 exhaust doesn't need to come up quite as much. And I'm just going to raise the intake transfers to... So we'll get these ground out and I'll show you how it looks. Alright, this is a 490 cylinder. 491 Shindiawa. Widen the intake. Raise the uppers. Notch the lowers. Widened and raised the exhaust. Ended up 84 intake, 106 exhaust, 126 transfers, flat. So, get this put down, see how it does. There's modified muffler. My small deflectors on each side. Little hole poked in. Fresh coat of high temp. So we'll get this put on, then we'll build the 501. There's the 501 cylinder. Raise the upper, widen the intake. Raise and widen the exhaust. Notch the lowers a little bit. And ready to put on. Alright, just running the top ring on these. All three of these builds. Get this slide down. Like so. There's some truth to that. You can ski tube, you can wake. Alright, just want to go over a couple things I noticed putting these together. 4910, black plug boot. 501, clear boot. They do have different numbers on the coils. I don't know if they have different timing or not. 490, 491 has the recoil assist. It's got the spring in the starter. There's the muffler mods. Same on all of them. I did notice 501 has a rubber plug in there. 4910, 490 do not. Alright, here's the results. Shindiawa 491. Turned out 4.91 horse. 501, 5.06 horse. 4910, 5.09. 4910, 501, super similar builds. Almost identical. Power curve's pretty close. I said these are only a couple percent. That's what you're seeing in the curves. They're that close. They both reach out about the same. They're both going to break in. Now these builds, they're not pushed. These are just good, solid work saw builds. They're going to last. They're going to hold up. Not making as much power as some of the other ones, but that's all part of the port shapes, the times, durations. Just one of those things. We need these to last, hold up, go into work. The 491 Shindiawa, which is the same as the Echo 490. That curve's a little bit narrower. This has a limited coil. So it's hitting real hard on that limiter, and then it finally cleans up, makes good power. So if you look, this is the stock 491 run, way down here. Just over 2.6 horse stock. This is the stock 4910 501 run. This 4910 501, about the same as all the others, 3.3, 3.4. I only picked one line for the 4910 and 501 just to help clear it up a little bit. So 491 stock, 501 4910 stock, 491 ported, 4910 501 ported. So stock to ported 490, 491. It's about 80%. And then stock to ported on the 4910 501 was 55% or so. Both of these really good gains. They're going to be able to go into service, last a long time. So I just want to share these builds with everybody. Leave a comment, let me know what you guys think. Thanks a lot.